everybody. Good to see you.
You too.
I'm really happy to be here with you today to talk a little bit about how we approach playing a wind instrument and how we approach getting ready for rehearsal with a technique that is from our co-publication that's been out for a long time now called the breathing gym. So it gets down to really a basic principle when we're going to sit down to play our instrument. You know, I sit down, my goal is to do what? My goal is to make sound, right? That's my goal. How do I make sound on a wind instrument? I have to have some sort of vibration, right? Or buzz, like in the case of a wind instrument, a brass instrument. And how do I make vibration happen on a wind instrument? Air. Right, you got to blow air, exactly. Right, so and this is a quantitative equation. If I move more air, lots of air, I make lots of vibration or buzz, and that's forte. It makes lots of sound. If I move less, it's less vibration or less buzz, which makes less sound. You know that's true because you already know this from an anecdotal standpoint. You can play longer in one breath when you play softer than when you play louder. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do. Why do we have to think about breathing? Why do we have to practice breathing as a piece of exercise for playing a wind instrument? Well, this is a visualization of our lung capacity, right? From none of my air to all of my air. Before I explode, before I expire. The first 10% of my lung capacity is static air. It stays in my lungs at all times to keep them in the right shape. If that air goes away, it's called a collapsed lung. Call the doctor. You're dead. All right, so it's bad. This next 15%, in the range of 10 to 25%, this is the air you're using right now. This is normal everyday air. This is the air we use for talking, it's the air you use for listening, texting, trying to stay awake in rehearsal, failing at staying awake in rehearsal. This is normal air, right? This is what we do all day long for almost every activity. When we get winded, when we pick up that marching instrument for the first time and run a set of drill for the first time in the season and we're like, when we're like that, right? Or when you're talking on the phone. Whenever you breathe like that, all right, thanks, I'll be here all week. I call this athletic breathing. It's only 40% of our lung capacity in the range of 25 to 65, about. So this is every day, normal every day. It's only 15% of your lung capacity. This is what we do to recover from being out of control cardiovascular to get back to normal. All right, so if that's what we need to live every day, all day long, and that's what we need to recover from being too out of hand, then what is this for? What is this air for? Anybody know? Ooh, I like that sound. The sound of wait, what? What's this air for? Playing in band. I love that answer. I do. I love it. It's true. We're going to use it for playing in band because it's green. That means go, all right? But no, that's because everybody has it. Not everybody plays in band. When you heal tissues, when you sleep, you breathe over this range where the green is, from about where you're full for talking to where you're comfortably full, depending on if you're a side sleeper or a stomach sleeper or a back sleeper. But when we're stretched out. So we're going to call this the air that we're going to use for band. Why? Because this air that we use when we're sleeping is really relaxed. And tension is the enemy of tone. You can even hear it when I buzz my lips. I buzz my lips relaxed. I dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair. It's because I'm jealous. So you can hear when I'm buzzing like that, thanks, they come at you really fast, so pay attention. You can hear it's nice and relaxed. It sounds like tuba, except with no tuba. If I put tension in my body when I do the same thing, it changes the way the buzz happens. It changes the music that's coming out. It turns into the soundtrack from The Fly instead of sounding like Stephen Foster, right? So tension is the enemy of tone. So for us to be able to do what we need to do on a wind instrument well, especially if we're moving, talking about the moving art of this, right, marching band, then we have to be able to move air in a very relaxed way, and in a lot of it because we need more of it to be able to play. And this is where it's relaxed. By the way, this air that we use right here, it's not really relaxed air. There's a little bit of abdominal tension that has to happen here to move the air out of our body to get our vocal cords to do the right thing so that you speak, so that happens when you open your mouth. So we don't really want to use that air, we want to use this air. And we have to practice it. Why? Because the only time we do it is when we're sleeping. So you're not consciously aware of it. And if you breathe in this area of your body without any intention, with no count structure or a musical idea involved in it, it causes anxiety. It makes things worse, not better. So we have to have a really great idea of how we're going to get to this, to be able to use this for playing because there's no tension. And no tension means great characteristic sounds are going to come out of our instrument. That's why we have to practice this, because we don't do it normally during the day. Everybody get it? So that's the reason we got to practice it, and this is why we do it, to get this to happen really great. Now, I understand that an oboe player, a saxophone player doesn't use the same amount of air as a sousaphone player. I get that, I understand that, but if we create a place of neutral where we're all able to do this air really relaxed, then everything else we do for our instrument, if we don't play the tuba, is a subset of that, which means it's easier, which means it's a step towards making things go well. That's the key to playing longer and having more fun when you play, is because you get good positive feedback, because you try something and it goes well, and you're like, oh, cool. Notice what this is not about. Notice the word accuracy is not on the board. All right, we're going to take one of the prongs. There's two prongs to playing really well. How do you hear it and how do you blow it to be able to make what you hear in your ear come out of the instrument? So how does your wind going to move, right? We're taking that subset today and talking about it. That one, right? When we do the right air in the right ear, the right note always comes out. So we don't want to chase accuracy. We want to be accurate about a good breath and accurate about what we hear in our head. Then the right note always comes out. How do I know that? Because this is the right note. It's not... It's this one. Ba-da-da-da. It's that one. I don't need any valves for it. I don't have any. Watch, no hands. All first valve. Same. 2 and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Pull out.
Where's that slide?
Right. Don't ask. Okay, so this is what we have to study, and we have to match it with really good ears. And we'll get to that a little bit later when we're talking. So breathing is movement, and for us to be able to do this well, we have to talk about our environment, right? Because we sit all day long, our spine is supposed to... How many ways is your spine supposed to move? A lot. I like that. Thank you, percussion. Well, how many ways is your...
Every answer on the physics test. A lot.
Anybody know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 2, 3, 4, 6.
6.
Yeah, 6 ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we only do it one. We live in a spine curve forward society. We're like this all the time, right? We're sitting in class. We're relaxing from standing up for too long. We're like this, or we're trying to stay awake in class, or failing to stay awake in class, or texting in class, or driving, or road rage arm, or whatever's happening, right? It's all spine curve forward, spine curve forward, spine curve forward. It's why when we stand up, we're always going like this, because we spend so much time doing this, because the body wants to be balanced. It wants to have a place of balance. Every muscle in our body is like a bass drum line. They just want to put it down and relax. Right? That's what they want. They don't want to have to work. They don't want to have to work. They want to relax. I understand, because it's a lot of work to hold that. I know it's sousaphone, right? It's the same deal. So that's what muscles want to do. They don't actually want to work. They just want to hang out. So for us to be able to do that, we have to learn about balance in our skeleton, balance in our body. All right? Because breathing is movement, and if we don't have the right ability to be able to move well, then we can't even access this idea of being relaxed when we play. Therefore, we're probably already playing under tension. Let's have an experiment since you're already there, right? So you're already sitting in the place in this chair where it tells you to sit. By the way, Ed Wenger, they think we're so idiotic that they put an imprint of where our bottom is supposed to go. Anyway, so thanks. That's funny in most states. So when you're sitting there, sit where it tells you to sit, right? Sit back where it's comfortable. Yeah, oh, it feels so good, right? And then let your back just relax against the back of the chair, right? This is awesome. This is beautiful. So now relax. We're going to breathe in for 8 counts. Count 5. Sam's going to make an invisible 700-pound leprechaun appear on your chest and sit facing away, right on your chest. Here we go. Count 5 is going to show. He's just going to go. He's 700 pounds, and he hasn't taken a bath since St. Patrick's Day. Here we go. He's magic. He studied with David Blaine. Here we go. In for 8. In for 8. Feel the leprechaun show up at count 5. Here he comes. Ready? In, 3, 10. Feel him? Yeah, it's heavy. Now out. How do you do that?